Well, hello, my name is Jim Royal. I am a huge Beatles and Elvis Presley fan, and if you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe below. There'll be many more videos like this to follow. Today, though, I wanted to just say it's October 9th, 2018, and I wanted just to use this particular video to devote to John Lennon. It would have been his 78th birthday had he still been alive today. And there are a few very cool releases that have come out recently. On October 5th, we had the John Lennon album, Imagine. It was remixed, repackaged. There's several different formats of this. Basically what you can do is you can get the single disc, which is the remix of the album. And then there's also some bonus songs on that disc. Some songs that were singles, like Power to the People, a studio version, I believe it's studio, Well Baby Please Don't Go, that was from sometime in New York City, a live song originally, and a cover tune. And then he helped out a fledgling magazine, I think it was called Oz, and he did a few songs, God Save Us, Do the Oz, which was an instrumental, and then God Save Oz, which is pretty interesting. That's some nice additional songs on there. And then there was also Happy Christmas Wars over that nice single. Now besides that, if you buy the 2-disc, which is what I bought, you get the you get that first album, you get the Imagine album, the remix of it, but you also get some bonus songs. You get a whole other disc of different takes of the songs. You get Elements Mix, they call it. You get the Imagine demo. You get different demos, alternate takes of some of these classic songs on this album. Now, if you want to go all out, which I haven't done yet, you can buy the 4-disc, 2 Blu-ray audio of this Imagine. I think it's Imagine the Ultimate Edition. And it is just a really nice thing. I know there's a lot of reviews out there on YouTube talking about it. I have not purchased it yet, but it is something that I'll get in the future. What I wanted to do, though, is maybe do a video that people haven't really talked about, and that is also on Friday the 5th. This came out, and this is, you can either get this on DVD or Blu-ray. It's 2 different John Lennon related films, Imagine by John Lennon and Yoko Ono, and then Gimme Some Truth, the making of the Imagine album. What they've done is, for a long time, these were sold separately, and now they're together on the same video. So what I wanted to do was just read you about this Imagine one. Imagine is a cinematic collage of color, sound, dream, and reality, produced and directed by John and Yoko, with numerous guest stars including George Harrison, Fred Astaire, Andy Warhol, Dick Cavett, Jack Palance, and Jonas Mekas. Create a world of imagination as rich and moving as the music that accompanies it. This was filmed during the summer of 1971 at John and Yoko's home in Ascot in London and in New York. And it is a very interesting video. It's a little over an hour. I had never really seen it before, and I've always wanted to. And what it is, it's pretty much, it's a continuous music video of all the songs from the Imagine album, and then there are a few Yoko songs from her album called Fly, which was released at the same time. Very interesting, very avant-garde, some of the stuff. Like, I'll give you an idea. There's a scene in there where they get picked up by their limo and on their property, and it takes them they have a lot of acres on their property, and it takes them to a little pond, a little lake area. So there's a rowboat there, they get in the rowboat, and then there's an island with a little home on it. And then they go in the home, and then there's a little, there's a chessboard set up. And I got a little friend here, okay? There's a chessboard that's set up there, and they're just doing goofy things. You know, he's putting, the pieces in his mouth, and they're stacking them up real high. It's just things, unusual things, but that's what they were into at the time. I like it in the sense that it's nice seeing as much John Lennon as you can see, and these were films done very professionally. They're not home movies. Some of this footage later appeared on his music videos after he passed from Milk and Honey. There's another one called, let's see what this is called. It's called What's That in the Sky? And this is one of those things where it looks like they're in a hotel room, and Yoko, you see a little of John, but Yoko is walking in with different celebrities, different cameos, and each person has their own little kind of theme music that goes. So she walks in with George Harrison, and you know, he's holding her hand, and then they walk up to the window and they look out, you know, at the sky. And then there's Fred Astaire. So he's got, you know, Ginger Rogers, Fred Astaire. So you got him walking in there with Yoko, and then they've got, you know, his music, very 30-ish, you know, that playing. You have Jack Palance, who was known in a lot of horror films, among others, and there's this little kind of song there for him. George Harrison has the rocker, so it was really cool. And then Dick Cavett, of course, the star, because he had a talk show in those days. There are a few songs of Yoko's which I think is really interesting. This was redone in 5.1 surround sound. It's done just very well. Let's see, for this release, both films have been matched to the original negative. Every frame has been hand cleaned and restored, and the soundtracks have been remixed, Imagine, and remastered, Gimme Some Truth, in glorious 5.1 surround sound by multi-Grammy award-winning engineer Paul Hicks, all under the personal supervision of producer Yoko Ono Lennon. This exclusive also has never before seen or heard extras, including studio outtakes of 3 songs from the album, plus an inside view of John and Yoko's photo shoot with David Bailey. And those were all interesting. So Imagine the film is definitely worth seeing. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, I would probably give it maybe a 4. I don't think it's incredible. I think what's incredible is the visuals, the idea that this is something extra that we get to see of John. I found it, you know, interesting watching. It's just one of those things that I wouldn't really need too many repeat listens or views. The music is done well, and like I said, there's really no talking in it. It basically is just the music that accompanies these pictures. All right, well, the next one on here is called Give Me Some Truth. Now, Give Me Some Truth was the making of the Imagine album, and what it says about that, it says is the groundbreaking and Grammy Award-winning film that chronicles the creative process of the making of the Imagine album. A stunning fly-on-the-wall document of how one of the most iconic and important albums of the rock era came into being. Songs from the album are featured as they progress from inception to final recording in an extraordinary visual documentation of the 2 great artistic talents using the recording and filming processes to bring their visions to reality. You know, this I really enjoyed. This was just really great. Now, it didn't chronicle it in detail, you know, real detail, but what it did is it took you, just like it said, fly on the wall. You know, you hear an early version of Oh My Love, and George Harrison is also guesting on it. He's playing a little bit different. They're not sure how they're going to work out the arrangements. He's sitting there with the musicians. He's talking to the producer, Phil Spector, hey, how should we do this? And then they decide to settle, you know, they're going to have John Lennon, they're going to have accompaniment on the piano, John Lennon will play the piano, and then they're going to have George Harrison do his little guitar part, and they're not going to go, the guitar is going to be a part of it, but not like it was. And I thought it was just brilliant. There's also the outtakes, the bonus features rather. You get to see raw studio footage in its complete of Jealous Guy. Basically, John Lennon's in the photo booth, and he's doing Jealous Guy, and then he does How, and he does Give Me Some Truth. And you get to see them, just him with the mic. It's glorious color. It's just really a lot of fun. You get to just get a better idea, I did, of what kind of guy this was. His humor, he was very fun, entertaining, he's laid back, he's cool. But at the same time, you get to watch him behind the scenes, and he's not too happy. They're trying to, him and Phil Spector are trying to do a backing vocal for the song Oh Yoko. And you know, the engineer is not sure when he should cue in what part. They're just going to be doing a backing vocal for one small part of it. So they finally have to put their cans down, the headphones, and they go, you know, Phil Spector goes in the booth and gets it set up right, and then they're practicing how it should be. And Yoko took a big part of this too. You know, she's actually coaching Phil how to sing or what to sing, and she's talking to the other musicians of, hey, play this, or whatever song it was. So, you know, she gave flexibility, but Yoko was also a part of the process. So I think this is great. This is nice that they're put together like this. This is very reasonable. I got this DVD for $14.99. I believe the Blu-ray is about $22.99. And this is not part of the big Imagine 4 CD 2 Blu-ray audio. This is separate, and I think for a nice visual, this is definitely worth getting. I would rate this, Gimme Some Truth, I would give it a 9 out of 10 because I just think it's that great. Last thing I wanted to show you was some postage stamps that came out commemorating John Lennon. These were released, I believe, September 14th. And I'm going to get a little closer to you here so you can see them. I believe this photo is from the Walls and Bridges era. Some photos that were taken during that time. And I think May Pang took these photos. And it's just really, really nice. She did a great job of capturing, you know, him and who he was. And, you know, him in real happy pose. I really like it a lot. And then this back shot is from Imagine during the time when he was recording the album. So I want to thank you very much for watching my video. These are actual 50-cent postage stamps. I picked them up for what I paid $8 and I got 16. So thank you very much for watching my video. You take care. Happy birthday, John.